David, I think you know where I'm going to go. Just wanted to ask about Artemi being back. Everything, kind of what this whole couple weeks has been like, when you found out he was coming back, and why this was the right time for him to come back.
Well, like we've said all along, Vince, he's been day to day. We're glad to have him back. When he's going to play again, we don't know. Obviously, he's ready to go physically. He's just been started skating. So, I want to focus on moving forward here. We're excited to have him back. The guys certainly are rejuvenated having him around, and was happy to see him on the ice.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, David, is there a chance he could play tomorrow?
No.
Next question comes from Molly Walker. Molly, go ahead.
Hey, David. Where do you anticipate Panarin slotting in the lineup when he does return? Do you think he'll break up that Kreider-Strom? I know. You probably won't say, but
yeah.
I gotta ask, David.
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
No, you do, and listen, it's a good question, and we've asked ourselves that question here in the last few days. So we haven't decided yet. We'll see how this keeps going, but there's a lot of options on the table with what we're going to do.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, what is Igor's status? Is he available for tomorrow?
He's day to day.
Next question comes from Rick Carpinello. Carpy, go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I'm not even sure how to ask this, but is Artemi all the way back, or is he still kind of taking a lead from playing, slowly making his way back to the team, or where is he? Yeah,
he's here today, practiced today. He'll skate again tomorrow. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's here and, just getting ready to play. So, to me, he's here, he's all in, ready to go. We just got to, obviously, he's been off the ice for a while, so we got to get him game ready.
Next question comes from Mark Rosenman. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to give you a break from Artemi. You've mentioned in the past that you've always been coaching young teams, and I took a look at this. Your first year at BU, your teams, when they trailed going into the third, were 0-16. The next year, they won that first game that they were trailing in the third, and went on, to be 6-7 in games they trailed in the third. You guys are off to an 0-8 start going into the third, trailing. Is it something where you just need to get that first win so that young group has that experience to know what it takes? And do you see them getting better, when they're trailing in the third?
Yeah, last night was a perfect example. You certainly, that game ended and you thought we had plenty of chances to tie it. I loved how we played the last two periods. When the game ended, I thought probably the last 30 were pretty good, but watching the game, after they scored to make it 2-1, I thought we really kind of started, establishing ourselves in the game. I thought we were playing all in. We were moving our feet. We were skating with and without the puck. We were playing through people, and the whole complexion of the game changed. So, we've got to bottle that from the get-go.
Next question comes from Stephen Wino. Stephen, go ahead.
Hey, David, I'm going to go back to Artemi here. Have you gotten a chance to kind of talk to him? How's his mental state going right now, and how's he doing?
Good. He's doing good. He was in a good place when he got here, and he's excited to be back with us. So we're all happy he's here, and nobody's happier than he is that he's back.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, you said physically he's good, and we know he's been skating and all that. So what do you need to see to feel comfortable putting him back in?
Just more skating. He has been skating a lot, so just want to make sure we put him in a position to succeed.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, we talked a little bit about your power play last night. I know you were kind of not necessarily in love with everything that you've seen from them lately. Is it a matter of just getting Artemi back into the mix to fix it, or are there other things that you think your power play needs to do that it isn't doing at the present time?
I think it's just our guys doing things at a quicker pace. We're a little bit too methodical. Puck retrievals, winning wall battles, and I've said this a lot. The game doesn't change because you're on a power play. You still got to do the same things that the 5-on-5 play demands to be successful. And sometimes we abandon that. And that's why we struggle when we struggle on the power play. Our pace isn't what it needs to be. Our puck retrievals aren't what they need to be. Wall battles aren't what they need to be. So it's all those things add up on a power play. And when you're doing those things well, you have a chance to have success.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen. Dan, go ahead.
David, so I wonder if you could explain how this kind of works in a professional hockey team's locker room for Artemi, the way he's coming back, why he left. It can be, guys can talk on the side, be an elephant in the room. They want to know how he's doing. They care for him. Does it need to be addressed? Does he address it? I mean, how does that work in your room among professional hockey players?
Yeah, listen, he's got a great relation with all those guys. He's been in contact with the players all throughout this, so nobody's wondering what was going on. I mean, these guys are fully in his corner. They understand the situation. So, the fact that he's got such a great relationship with all these guys has made all of this a lot easier.
Okay, we have 3 more in queue. These will be the final 3. First comes from Molly Walker. Molly, go ahead.
David, do you anticipate any new call-ups from Hartford anytime soon? I know you guys just signed Mason Geertsen. Is he a physical presence that could help you guys out against the Bruins in particular?
Yeah, these guys we've liked for a long time, so he certainly has earned that opportunity to get an NHL contract, and we haven't had any discussions about, calling anybody up. Obviously, Jeff and I will talk this afternoon. We talk every day about these types of things, so, calling somebody up is always on the table, but as of right now, that hasn't been something that we've talked about yet.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, can you tell us who your starting goalie is going to be tomorrow night?
Yeah, Georgie.
And final question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, we've seen in the last 3 games, each night you've had a different forward as the healthy scratch. It seems like it's been a pretty competitive situation, and especially now, eventually Artemi will be back in there. That's another guy who would have to come out. What are the factors that you're weighing in that right now?
Well, play for sure. I mean, how people are playing, the line combinations, the opponent. I mean, all those things factor into it.